You can fully heal, nearly 100%, probably 99% fully heal from any trauma that you've experienced in your life. I want to revolutionize your world over this cup of tea. Hello beautiful souls, I'm Sasha, welcome back to my channel. Always talking about you living your most abundant life, and a huge part of my story in getting to living my most fulfilling abundant life is through trauma healing. Now we talk about trauma healing and spiritual journeying as if they're the same thing, and I want to bring you some peace today. As I said, a revolutionary concept to really support you in understanding that these two things are different and to give you some real relief, especially if you've been on a healing journey for a few years and it's felt so freaking rough. I know the feeling where it's so tough and you're just like, keep going, keep leaning into these triggers, this pain is coming up, this fear, and it's so freaking hard, and you just think, I can't live like this forever. And then people are talking about spiritual journeys as if this is it, like once you've signed up for this, this is the road that you're taking, this is the roller coaster that you're on forever. And I just want to allow you to take a breath and know that that's not really the truth. And now that I have some perspective on my own journey, having been through a really deep trauma healing process, I want to share it with you. So get a cup of tea and let's do this. The biggest takeaway is that the healing journey, the trauma healing journey, isn't lifelong. That is not a lifelong journey. The human journey is a lifelong journey, and this is where the initial separation comes in. Spiritual awakening, spiritual journeying, spiritual insight process is a lens through which you live your human life. And so that can be, it's lifelong for you as long as you choose to live that way. The trauma healing journey is about healing your physiology, it's about healing your nervous system, it's about healing, understanding your body-mind connection. At its core, trauma healing really is about nervous system regulation and self-management. And often we go about it through a spiritual lens because that's the bigger story that helps us make sense of it. Just thinking about nervous system regulation in itself can feel a little bit dry, a bit tedious, a bit unsexy in a way. But that's actually the truth of what's happening. When we're on our trauma healing journey, we're understanding our memories, we're understanding our subconscious programs and the patterns that have been put in place as a result of trauma that we've experienced, or as a result of childhood experiences, have then created these fear-based responses in our body, this hyper-awareness, this hair trigger response to life that's been encoded within our systems because of things that have happened to us at an early age, but really throughout our whole lives, through every single day, we're still being programmed all the time. Trauma healing is this really specific process of gaining awareness and insight into what has happened to us, coming out of denial, coming out of delusion, coming into awareness, coming into clarity, and then unraveling the programs that cause our body, that cause our nervous system to react in certain ways to things that are no longer a threat to us, or things that are no longer going to end in the kind of outcome that our trauma showed us that it would. So for me, my trauma was childhood sexual abuse trauma. So a lot of my unraveling was really around my relationship with men and how I was around them. But that's something that's able to be healed, fully healed. Now I don't get triggered by men or by certain things that men do. I don't feel afraid, other than in scenarios where it would be appropriate to feel afraid. So it's healed, it's a healed thing. So I really want you to find some peace in what I'm saying right now. You can fully heal, nearly 100%, probably 99% fully heal from any trauma that you've experienced in your life. You can do it. You can regain mastery over your nervous system regulation, and you can no longer be scared for your life in normal everyday scenarios. Healing trauma is really about finding control. Control we use is this like bad word now. It's like, oh no, we're supposed to let go of control, let go of control. But no, when you're trauma healing, you're actually refinding your own locus of control, and you're bringing that power back to you, and you're taking responsibility for what you need to take responsibility for. You are growing into a mature adult human who knows what they're in control of and knows what they're not in control of, and can take responsibility appropriately and understands their own power. So just know that that's a place that you can get to if you're in a trauma healing journey. It feels like a crazy roller coaster and you're just like triggered and then super emotional and things are just moving all the time and it feels really challenging. Just know you can heal that. So I want you to just take a breath. I invite you to place your right hand on your heart, close your eyes if you'd like to. Just take a nice deep inhale all the way into the belly. Exhale. And as you exhale, I just want you to say to yourself, I can heal. And another inhale, all the way into the belly. And another exhale, I can heal. Take as many of those breaths as you need until you feel yourself calming and you feel yourself knowing that to be true. Okay, so spiritual awakening, different thing. It's a different thing. Spiritual awakening is really that process of coming into wholeness and knowing that you are part of the greater whole, that you are connected to every single other thing, this planet, this universe, every other multiverse that you can imagine. You are part of the oneness. You are part of the whole organism of life, death, matter, space, time, and you are an energetic being that's playing in this field as the character of you. And this is a viewpoint, and I know we talk about it sometimes as if it's the truth, and I want you to know that you get to decide what your truth is, and when you feel the truth for yourself, you will know what your truth is. But don't take anyone else's word for it, right? There's no need to feel like I'm trying to live this spiritual oneness life if that's not what feels real for you, if that's not what feels true. So I want you to be able to separate out walking a spiritual path and speaking about these concepts of oneness from your own trauma healing journey. We don't need to conflate the two. But if you're in that space of spiritual awakening and spiritual insight, and you've had those awakening experiences where you felt like, I am literally connected to everything, and you feel that like love flowing through your body and out of your body, you feeling your energetic fields, and also know that you get to make the choice to live in that way if that's what feels right for you, and you also get to choose to not. This is a really beautiful piece of liberation for you. You don't need to take on the responsibility of the whole world, even if you know truthfully you are deeply connected to all that is, and you're part of the oneness, and you feel it, and you feel that love, that compassion, that empathy. It doesn't then mean you have to take responsibility for every single living thing, every single person being on this planet. You get to choose how you act from that place. The spiritual awakening, a spiritual journey need not be a burden, and you need not listen to everyone who tries to make it seem like if you want to live in your highest consciousness, that means you have to do this certain list of things, because that is just complete BS and it's not true, and it's in fact the opposite of living your own empowered, enlightened truth anyway, which is that you get to choose. That's what it is that to know you are part of everything, to know what you have control over and to know what you don't have control over, and then to choose how your life path goes. That is ultimately what it is. Freedom, it's empowerment, it's liberation. There's no checklist of how to do it. I cover some of these things in my video talking about how to live a spiritual life. And it's really more about, you know, radical acceptance of you and feeling empowered in you. That's what it really is about. And that's where the trauma healing sometimes gets mixed up into it. I hope you enjoyed this video, sharing this cup of tea with me. I'm loving you all so much. Join me in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Loving you